Welcome everyone. Oops, that's a bit loud. Cameras all okay at the back, all rolling? We're going to start with Sonia from the Press Association. Lady here on the end of the aisle, please. And then please raise your hand if you want to ask a question. We've got some priority, going to give some priority to the UK media first, and then we'll open it up to everyone else. Sonia, over to you, go ahead.
Hi Brendon, the first English test here for 17 years. Do you and the team feel ready and prepared for it?
Not yet, but we've got a couple of days. So it's nice to be here, and we had a great camp in Abu Dhabi and spent lots of time together as a team, sort of trying to build that camaraderie back after a little bit of a break, which we identified throughout the English summer that that's a really important component to how this team's going to operate. So it was quite nice to do that, a little bit of social interaction for the boys, but also plenty of hard work there. And now being our first hit out here, guys they're not screwed down yet, but we'll get there in the next couple of days.
A lot of the Red Bull players have only had the 2 days in Abu Dhabi since the end of the English season. How is everyone physically ahead of the test?
Everyone's pretty good. Mark Woods, obviously, he's not going to make the first test squad, unfortunately, because of his injury, but we expect him to be ready for the second test. But otherwise, we've got a full squad to pick from.
And you've had a first look at the pitch today. How does it look, and how do you think it's going to play?
It looks good, but I'd expect it to change again over the next couple of days, see how things scrub up. I think one of the things we've talked about is that we just adapt to whatever we're given, not be too not too stuck in our preconceived thoughts. Just play what's in front of us and be prepared to adapt accordingly. And look, the wicket so far looks good. The training facilities were excellent. It was quite nice having both teams training as well. I think it created quite a nice atmosphere for both sides. But yeah, I'd anticipate the pitch will be a pretty good wicket, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Any more from the UK? Dino, go ahead.
Baz, what's your experiences of Pakistan throughout your cricketing career? And what do you think the key to playing well in Pakistan is all about?
Thanks for bringing that up, Dino. I think I've got about 12 runs here in my entire career, so that was I haven't performed very well here myself, but luckily I don't need to pick up a bat. This is obviously a great place to tour. It's been starved of international cricket for a long period of time. We understand how passionate the people are here in Pakistan about the sport of cricket, and we understand the obligation that we have as an England side, and we're looking forward to coming over here and playing an entertaining style of cricket, which hopefully ends up in results, whether that's in our favour or whether that's in Pakistan's favour. Hopefully everyone that does dial into this series, not just in Pakistan but also around the world, sees that that international cricket is back in Pakistan, and we put on a product which is worth watching.
Any more from the UK? This gentleman here at the front.
McCullum, first of all, welcome to Pakistan.
Thank you.
Perhaps it's an entirely different cricket from the T20 to won the final. How is the preparation? What are the expectations? And what do you say about the security in Pakistan?
Well, the T20 World Cup I wasn't a part of it personally myself, but it was obviously, we had a few guys amongst our squad who were part of the World Cup win, and they've come here with beaming smiles and a real sort of strut in their step, which is fantastic. It's never easy to win World Cups, and I thought England, we did an amazing job to be able to win that World Cup over in Australia. So lots of confidence from that, and it's great on the back of what we were able to achieve through the Test summer, what the guys have done, and it's a nice little forward step for us at English cricket. In terms of security, it's been good so far. We've only been here for 24 hours or so. Everyone seems really hospitable and looking after us fantastically well. We've got a beautiful hotel, and the staff have been amazing everywhere we've been, and so far so good. So look, we're looking forward to the tour. It's a great opportunity to play cricket in Pakistan, and great opportunity to play an entertaining style of cricket and do what we do best, which is exhibit our skills on the cricketing field.
Thank you. McCullum, England are more known to playing taking cricket. Do you think that is possible on these low tracks in Pakistan?
Yeah, we'll find out, I suppose. I think one of the things we'll try and do is certainly respect the conditions, but at the same time, if we are given an opportunity to try and play aggressive and attacking cricket, then we'll try and take that option. It's authentic to the lineup that we have. The guys who are in our squad, that's how they play their cricket, and that's what gives them the most amount of freedom and the most amount of the best opportunity to perform at the highest level. So, look, we know that it may not necessarily be as prominent the aggressive cricket as what we've seen in the past, but there'll be opportunities to try and play positively, and when that does arise, I expect our guys to try and take that on.
And Brendon, Shaheen is out due to his injury. So how you rate the Pakistani bowling attack in this test series?
Yeah, it's obviously a big loss. Shaheen Sharafrida, I know him pretty well. I played many years in the PSL with Shaheen as well, and he's a wonderful bowler, and he's turned into a fine leader as well amongst Pakistani cricket. So he's a big loss, no doubt. But look, one thing when you play against Pakistan, that you look at their team sheet and you see talent, and you see some of it may be not necessarily developed talent as such, but it's talent, and you need to respect that, and you need to find a way to be able to be well researched, well planned about what's going to come at you, but also try and find out a way that is there an opportunity to put that talent under pressure and see how it responds. So look, it's a very good Pakistan squad. It's well rounded. It's got some experience and some youth with both batting and bowling, and they'll be a tough challenge. And we know we'll have to play well if we're going to be successful. But I guess that's all in front of us.
Talking about that aggressive style of England, it's understandable, quite understandable if you play that in white ball, but you have adopted that approach in red ball cricket as well. What is the thought process behind adopting this strategy in red ball cricket?
Yeah, I guess for us, one of the things we think we want to try and entertain people. That's what we want to do in our time that we've got in leadership positions and amongst English cricket. And one of the things about Test cricket, it's not always been as popular as what it used to be in the most recent history. So we see an obligation to try and ensure that if people turn on the TV anywhere around the world, or they pay their money, their rupee or their pound to come and watch you play, that they're going to head away somewhat entertained. And for us, it's about trying to play that style. It's not always going to be successful, and we know that. But I think what we've seen in a short period of time, that it can unlock your skill. I think in this game we can suffocate ourselves a little bit by the want or the will for results, and we stymie our ability for our talent to come out. So that's one thing. If we're able to try and put a positive slant on it and an aggressive slant on the style of play, then it allows the talent to come out. That's what we believe, and we've had some success in the most recent history with it. It remains to be seen how that will go on the road, but I'd still envisage that I'd expect us to still play positively given the opportunities.
Gentlemen here, then we'll take three on this side, and then we'll be done. Thank you.
McCullum, without Shaheen, what do you think which Pakistani fast bowlers will prove crucial for Team England?
I'm not going to go into that because they're all good. I think we've seen in many tours, many series, all of a sudden you don't know much about a certain young Pakistani fast bowler, and then he explodes on the scene and he dominates for a few years. So look, we just anticipate that the flair of the Pakistani fast bowlers is going to be a tough proposition for us, and we're going to find a way to be able to absorb that pressure at times and turn it back on them at other times.
So go ahead. Yeah.
Brendon, you made your test debut in 2004, but unfortunately you couldn't play in Pakistan. As a former cricketer and now as a current coach of the England cricket team, how do you feel being in Pakistan for the first time?
Yeah, really excited actually. I mean, I felt obviously things were difficult for Pakistan, and not having any international cricket here for a long period of time would have been very challenging for the fans and the next generation of fans who didn't grow up being able to watch the likes of Wasim and Waqar and Imran Khan be able to play in their own backyard. So it would have been challenging. Now that cricket's back, international cricket's back here, hopefully that does unlock the real passion that Pakistani people have for cricket. So look, I'm really happy to be here. Again, I can't stress how well we've been looked after so far in a short period of time. Looking forward to playing the cricket, looking forward to being able to enjoy as much of the country as we possibly can. Obviously there's some security, I guess some restrictions when it comes to that, which is what it is, but we're looking forward to try and enjoy ourselves over the next few weeks, both on the field and also off it.
Gentlemen
My name is Zulfikar Beg. My question is that, thank you very much for coming Pakistan. And have you seen the wicket, how many runs you expect in this wicket, especially this ground? And my other question is that, which bowler or batsman they create problem for your team? If you have any bowler or batsman in your mind for the Pakistani side.
Yeah, look, I mean, trying to predict a run scoring is going to be really difficult because it depends on how the approaches of both teams go. Both sides have got bowling lineups who can rock the oppositions given the right opportunities and if pressure arises. So it's hard to head into a test expecting, say, a 500 sort of score in the first innings. I think it's very difficult to do that, and we certainly wouldn't want to put those preconceived thoughts on ourselves. Let's just see what the conditions are. Let's adapt to those conditions, and hopefully, you know, if we're brave enough in the big moments, then we'll come out with more runs than them. In terms of their players, again, like there's world-class players littered throughout the Pakistani side, and they've done it not just here in Pakistan, but they've also done it in the UAE. They've done it overseas in various conditions as well. So that's the beauty of playing away from home, is you've got to be able to adapt, and you've got to expect local players that you come up against to be at their very best in conditions like this. So, you know, it's a big challenge for us, but I think it's a challenge that we're ready for, and either way, I'm sure everyone that dials in will be entertained by the series.
Last two, gentlemen here and then gentlemen from...
Brendon, hope you're enjoying your time here. Talking about the stadium is actually famous for its buzzing crowd. We have seen house full in all 5 days in recent test series. So how do you see your boys playing in front of a house full of Pindi boys, buzzing for guests as well as Pakistan?
Well, the boys have already said that. They're pretty excited about playing in front of the full house here, and it's going to be loud too. So they're really excited. Isn't that what we all want? That's what we want for Red Bull cricket all around the world. We want stadiums packed out. We want fans getting them behind their local team. And if you are able to taste success on the road, then that's the greatest accomplishments that you can achieve. So, you know, we're lucky in England that I think every crowd this year was sold out. It'll be a different vibe, no doubt. But that's kind of what we want. And our guys, they want to be big players. They want to be... The skipper wants them to be rock stars, and to be a rock star, you want to play in front of the big houses. So we get that opportunity in this series.
Last question, please.
And this is Asghar Ali Mubarak representing the Daily Mail, Islamabad. And sir, after a long time, the English team are visiting here. And do you think this is a very difficult tour for English team, especially when the condition and everything is against the English condition?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's to win away from home is the greatest accomplishment you can achieve as a test player and as a test side. So we understand the size of the challenge in front of us, but that's great. That's what you want to play the game for. You don't want easy challenges. You want to take on the best in their own conditions, and you want to try and test where you're at as a side. And you know, I'm really excited. I don't know if we're going to win the series. I can almost guarantee you when the skipper comes in here in 48 hours time, he'll say that there'll be no draws in the series. We'll certainly be pushing for results, because we see it as our obligation to try and ensure that people walk away entertained. And if we get beat, then Pakistan, we know, would have played well. I expect us to play well. If we get outplayed, that's okay too. But looking forward to the opportunity, looking forward to the challenge, and looking forward to the hospitality, and hopefully in a few weeks' time, everyone will say this has been an amazing series.
Thank you. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.